Making predictions is notoriously tricky, even more so when trying to pinpoint where a leading cryptocurrency known for its volatility will be 5 years from now. Instead of trying to guess what Bitcoin's crypto, BTC, value will be in the future, a better approach might be to look at what could push its price higher and what might cause it to fall. As the past few months have already proven, there are compelling reasons to think Bitcoin's value could rise or fall dramatically, thanks to increasing uncertainty in the U.S. economy. Here's how it might play out for Bitcoin over the next 5 years. Bitcoin's potential catalysts. One of the most significant catalysts for Bitcoin's value right now has come from the spot Bitcoin Exchange Traded Funds (ETFs) that debuted last year. These funds allow investors easy access to Bitcoin without the sometimes complicated process of buying crypto themselves. For example, investors can buy the iShares Bitcoin ETF Trust Nasdaq, IBIT, a fund that tracks the performance of Bitcoin. You can buy just one share, currently about $50, compared to Bitcoin's price of about $86,500. Sure, you can buy a small fraction of an actual Bitcoin, but that option may not be obvious to every investor. A little more than 1 year after launching, the iShares Bitcoin ETF Trust already has nearly $50 billion in assets, showing just how popular Bitcoin ETFs have become. If more investors follow suit to these ETFs, Bitcoin's value could rise further. And then there's the general openness and sometimes outright promotion of cryptocurrencies by the Trump administration. After establishing a crypto czar to see how the U.S. could move further into digital coins, President Donald Trump recently announced plans for a strategic crypto reserve, with Bitcoin as the largest holding. With President Trump at the beginning of his 4-year term, further actions taken by the administration that are seen as beneficial to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general could drive its value higher. Finally, there are increasing concerns that a period of high inflation could return, spurred by Trump's threats of tariffs against U.S. trading partners. Higher tariffs would likely result in higher consumer prices, and investors are moving some of their money into Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation. Because of Bitcoin's inherent scarcity, some investors view the crypto as having a long-term trajectory toward increasing value. As such, owning some Bitcoin could be a good way to fight inflation if prices rise and the value of the dollar decreases. There are some hurdles too. It's probably not all sunshine and rainbows for Bitcoin over the next 5 years. For example, a recent CNBC survey of CFOs found that 75% predict a recession will begin in the second half of this year or early next year. The CFOs, as well as an increasing number of economists, are concerned that President Trump's tariffs could end up pushing the economy downtown. Recessions vary in length, with the average being about 10 months, but they can be longer, as with the Great Recession, which lasted 18 months. Bitcoin's value isn't immune to feeling the impact if a recession rears its ugly head. The crypto's price has gone through dramatic price swings when investors have sensed uncertainty in the market or the economy. Even if a recession doesn't materialize, the general angst among some investors is already affecting Bitcoin's value, pushing it down about 12% over the past 3 months. Bitcoin could rally again, of course, but the talky way here is that when companies, consumers, and investors are concerned about the economy, Bitcoin's value will likely be impacted as well. Finally, while the Trump administration has so far been light on regulation for cryptos, if this policy shifts or the next administration tightens regulations, Bitcoin's price could fall. Where could Bitcoin be in 2030? If we look at Bitcoin's price changes over the past 11 years, the 2 5-year time intervals have been very good for the crypto's value. Between late 2014 and 2019, Bitcoin surged more than 1,700%, and from 2020 to now, it has gained an additional 1,100%. Now that doesn't mean Bitcoin will see similar gains over the next 5 years. It could just as easily plummet based on some unforeseen problem. But I mention these impressive gains because it shows that Bitcoin has proven to be a lucrative, albeit speculative, investment over time. With some significant tailwinds for the crypto in place, I wouldn't be surprised if it outpaces the skeptics' expectations between now and 2030. Just keep in mind that owning any crypto is very speculative, and it's best not to have more than 5% to 10% of your total portfolio in cryptocurrencies.